Evening, everybody. Welcome to Heavenly Harvest Homestead. My name's Ken, and tonight we're going to show you how I use my board to plant vegetables. Now, I'm going to first show you how I made it, and then I'm going to show you how to use it. So let's roll. All right. So last night when Beth did her video, she took a little bit of this, showed it to you, but I want to show you what it looks like. And I left it out in the weather a little bit, so it's a little bit curved, but you want it pretty flat. Alright, so what I did is I took a board, I cut it 2 foot by 4 foot long, because my beds are 4 feet wide, and then I set these little knobs at 6-inch intervals. Most plants need about 6 inches parted. Some of them only need 3, but 6 is going to be plenty for them too. And with the length of these beds, just in this little spot where I planted here earlier, I got 108 carrots from 4x4 to 4x4. So what I did is I cut these knobs. What this is a birch pole, a 1-inch pole. And I just cut these out at 1.5 inches long. Laid my board out with just laid a grid out, found the centers, and I glued them down first to get them set. And then on the other side, I put a screw through them to hold them on so they don't fall off, because this is going to be used for a lot of years. And I got this idea from Hollis. From Nancy and Hollis Homestead. They're down in Florida now. When he showed us this, they were still in Virginia. So he made 2 or 3 of these, and I thought that's a pretty good idea. So also I put these handles on here to make it easier to pick back up, so you don't drag it across and mess your holes up. So let me show you how this thing works. I'm gonna have to get over here and zoom into this bed so you can see how it goes. Okay, so here I've got my board, and what I do is I just kind of set it on the edge here, grab a hold of my handles so I can position it in the right spot. Now, I give up these corners. I'm going to make another one, and I've already laid this one out to see how it's going to work, and cut a spot out for the 4x4 posts so I can just set it right down. But I don't want to plant too close to the edges. So you can even see I've offset it at about 2.5 inches right here. And I'm going to move this one right up against this edge. Because what I ended up doing, I cut this down to 46 inches instead of 48. So I have a little bit more maneuverability in the bed. Okay, so what I do is I line this up against this edge over here, put it against the 2 posts, and then I'll lay it again in the dirt. Now, we got a lot of rain last night, so this dirt should hold really well. And now you just stand on it, and because it's warped, I'm going to have to rock back and forth on it to get the holes down in there good. Do a little dancing on the board here. Smash some ants while I'm doing it. Hate ants. Alright. Now I'm just going to lift this straight up so I don't disturb the dirt. And I don't know if you can see this. Let me set this board down. I'll zoom in over here and show you what I'm talking about. Alright, so you can see there's little holes placed in there, and they're about 1/2 inch to 1 inch deep, depending on the elevation of the dirt. I didn't rake this back flat, but it worked pretty good, and Beth's going to plant deal in it anyway, so she's going to dig a little better. But what this does is it sets your placement. And if they're too close to the edge, like it is this one over here at this edge, don't even worry about using them. So that's what we do for the board. And I'm going to make another one that's got a 3-inch measurement on it, 3-inch spacing, because there are some vegetables that only need 3-inch spacings, particularly carrots. But I set my carrots at 6 inches a piece, so if I'd have done 3, I could have doubled up the amount. But I was just trying to make sure that these beds would handle carrots, because I only got about probably 10 inches of dirt in here, and I don't want them going down into the well, I've got cloth underneath these beds, so they really aren't going to be able to penetrate through here. Hopefully, I don't want them going through there, because if they can go through, then the grass can get through too. And that's pretty much the nuts and bolts of it. I'm going to do one more right behind that, so I can show you one more time how this works. So let me move this over. Alright, so now I've already got this. So what I do, see how if you notice these are a little bit closer to the edge, so I flip the board over so I can keep my spacing. Now I take and set the board where it is right up against the last set. Just let it fall over, get it aligned, and then same thing, step on it and do your dance back and forth. Mash these holes in really nice. And the beauty of it is, if you don't get it right, you can always take a rake it over and do it again. But this thing works really good. Like I said, it helps set the pace, or excuse me, the separation of your plants so they don't grow too tight. And let's say you need only 12 inches, you need 12-inch spaces. Well, go every other hole. Or if you need 3, instead of making a board, you could just go in between the 6s. You know, pretty simple. You know, I don't want to insult anybody, but you know, it's sometimes we don't think about things until we actually get doing it. So I just wanted to share that with you. And then Beth's going to come over here and plant some dill, and then we also have our cabbage and our collards ready to plant too. So we're going to put them in this other bed here. All right. So let me pull this board up one more time and show you how that works. I need to put another handle right here so I don't have to step in the bed to get it. There you go. So that's how my plug device works. I hope you enjoyed this, and like I said, we're going to plant dill here, and then we'll put the marjam here as well. So let me get Beth, and we'll come back out here and show you how to plant these. All right, so apologize. Right when we were going to start doing this, started to come a thunderstorm, so I had to get the camera inside. But you can see we got the dill planted in the holes, and even after all the rain, the holes are still there. So that board works pretty good. It imprints the dirt, packs it down also, so the little holes will stay there. And you can just drop if you just direct seeding, you just drop the seeds in each hole and just cover them up, and it's working well. I'll take you over here. I don't know if I can get let's see if I can, well, I don't know if it's worth right there. My first carrot. All right, so that bed's gonna finally coming up, but after, before I close out, I want to show you how I do the rain barrels. So let me get at the rain barrels, and I'll show you how I put them together. All right, Alright, so now you can see this is one of the rain barrels I took off the platform over here. Alright, I've already drilled a hole in it. Somewhere in here. Elusive hole. There it is. Alright, I already drilled a hole in here. This is a 1 1/4 inch hole, and it fits the fitting perfectly with just a little bit of wobble. This is the fittings that I use. Alright, so it comes separate. So this is called a bulkhead fitting. This part right here. I'm going to get it unscrewed here. Alright, so this is a bulkhead fitting right here. And it's got a nut on it, and it's also got a rubber washer. So let me show you how I put these guys in. There's a lot of different techniques I've seen. A lot of people use string or what have you, but I've got a neat little tool. So let me show you how this works. First thing I got to take the top off so I can get to it. And also, I've already cut a hole into the top here. You can see I cut it to fit the type of downspout I have. So it's cut out so then it fits down inside. It's not very square, but it works. Alright, here's the tool I made. So basically, it's just a piece of board, and I put a 3-inch screw in it. Just screwed it in just a little bit, just give me some place to put the fitting in. So what I do is I take the nut off the front here, and it's reverse threaded. So if you spin it the normal way, it's going to loosen. So you loosen it up, you put it on the screw. Pocket so I don't lose it. Then we fit it down into the barrel. We just got to get it adjusted onto the screw so that it will fit through the hole just enough to catch it. Alright, so now I see I've got it going through the hole here. I'm going to go ahead and catch it, and I'm going to put the barrel up on its edge. Okay, now I've got to get the nut installed. What I do is I take my finger and I hold this with my thumb, and I put this on my finger. Now I want to take my finger and hold this inside while I put the nut on, hold pressure on it. Once you get it started, it should go fairly cleanly. And then just tighten this down, hand tight. You don't want to go too tight because you'll end up turning that washer inside, making it bend, and then it'll leak. So what I do is I get an adjustable wrench and just give it about a 1/4 turn just to make it real tight. But I found if I just turn it with my hand, that makes it tight too. And then once I fit the fitting on there, I adjust the fitting so it stands straight up. So this screws on just like anything else. Alright, so now see, it's not quite tight and it's kind of tilted to the side. So I'm going to spin this around, and you can see that turned. Alright, so now I'm going to hold this and turn the whole entire thing to tighten it up just a little bit more and get this aligned so that this is setting straight up and down. Now, it doesn't have to be setting straight up and down. It could be at a side if you want it to. I just like it this way because it makes it easy to adjust, going back and forth. Alright, so now I'm going to put it back up onto the stand, and then I'll show you how we hook them up. Alright, now I've got it back up onto the platform here, and all I'm going to do is take this nozzle coming off my downspout that's in the gutter, just fit it back into the hole. And you want to make this where it's a little bit more form-fitting than just loose, because when this thing fills up with water, it makes a great place for mosquitoes to hide. So you want to keep the air part out as much as possible to keep the mosquitoes out of the barrel. Alright, so I got that part set up. Now, what I did is I bought this kit off of Amazon, this little connection kit. What you do is you just drill a hole, same size as this one. It's got a little grommet that fits into the barrel, and it's got this little tube that fits into there. So you just kind of squeeze it into the hole, work it in. Alright, get all my barrels positioned. And there we go. So now what will happen is, as the rain comes through here, it's going to fill this barrel up first. And then when it gets to this spot, it's going to start to carry over into this barrel. And then once this barrel's full, then so on and so forth to the next barrel. So basically with this setup, I've got 150 gallons of water that I have readily available to me at any time. And I've also installed a quick disconnect feature on these, so we can change a hose out to each one of the barrels whenever we need it. So you just pull this up, and the quick disconnect comes off. So I'll put this onto my hose. I've got another one here that I've got to go add to my other rain barrel over there. I added one of the fittings onto my original one, my first one. I'm gonna go add this to the second one, and now we'll be able to take one hose and quick fit it all the way around the yard. So I want to thank you for joining us today and watching how we do the rain barrels and looking at our garden. And if you like this video, please share it. And if this is the first time you've seen us, please subscribe. And ring the notification bell is also, so you can get our notification when we put new videos up. But until then, God is good all the time, and all the time God is good. God bless. Love you.